Welcome back, friends. For today and the next few episodes, Sarah and I will be looking at Blessed Conchita, wife, mother, and mystic. Um, Conchita anticipates and affirms the Council, Vatican II's Council's teaching that every Christian, regardless of vocation, gender, or status, is called to sanctity. Her life proves that holiness is not a matter of status, but of surrender. We're going to spend quite a bit of time looking at the historical context of her life because that really matters. It matters to who she is as a person, and in the realm of sanctity, it's going to give us indication of what God the Father is considering, thinking. Um, foreseeing the trends that are on the horizon. And uh, Conchita isn't the only one who sees these things. So we're going to go through some of the historical developments during this tumultuous time.
Could you remind us where you actually heard about Blessed Conchita? I don't think very many people know much about her, but how were
Oh,
you introduced to her?
well, thank you. I was introduced to her through my spiritual director, um, who has had the opportunity to be with the orders that came in her charism. And so he's been in that part of the country and had just really, really delightful things to say about her. And that, of course, if he has something to say, I try to pay attention.
Yeah, I just think that it's a real grace for us to learn about someone who is so close to us in proximity of space, but also just time and vocation. It really
That's
gives
true.
us an opportunity to understand, first of all, what the great vocation is that we're called to, but really what the depths of spirituality is that we might truly aspire to, right? I mean, oftentimes these saints seem to be kind of Candyland kind of people, right? Kind of far off from us and away from our particular vocation. But in this case, I think that we'll be introduced to someone who is very relatable.
Very, very relatable. We are, so all right, so we're going to get some of the way. I am in the process. Louis Boyer's Women Mystics. He was a convert, a Lutheran minister, converted Catholic priest, 18, late 1800. And that, of course, now has my interest peaked for mysticism, women mysticism in particular. Um, this is the book, uh, Blessed Holiness by Kathleen Beckman, Sophia Press. This one, Ignatius Press.
Okay. Which was the other one? The first one, The Beautiful Holiness?
The Beautiful Holiness, that's Sophia Press.
Oh, Sophia Press. Okay. All right.
And the last but not least, where we'll be leaning into the history, is Warren Carroll's Volume 6, The Crisis of Christendom. And that title is Crisis is absolutely accurate. It's not an overstatement. So, historical background. A world on fire coupled with a garden of grace. In the mid 19th century, the world stood at the crossroads of spiritual upheaval and political reinvention. The church, long persecuted, was entering yet another age of trials, yet also, providentially, of hidden saints. The world that Concepcion Cabrera de Armida entered in 1862 was fractured but fertile, wounded but waiting. She was born not in Rome or Paris or Madrid, but in the arid hills of north central Mexico, in a quiet colonial town that would become a hidden stage for grace, San Luis Potosi. The global landscape. The year 1862 marked a turning point across the continent. So now we're going to shift into the continents. Europe, once the stronghold of Christendom, now reeled under the pressures of nationalism and secularism. In Italy, Garibaldi's unification campaign had swallowed the Papal States. The temporal power of the Pope was dissolving before the eyes of the faithful. Pius IX, then in the 16th year of his long pontificate, stood against the tide with the clear voice of the Syllabus of Errors, 1864. Friends, that still is in effect, and it's a great read, you know. Denouncing the modern world's growing rejection of truth, revelation, and divine authority. France, meanwhile, sent troops to Mexico under Napoleon III in that same year, 1862, beginning the ill-fated French intervention that would install Maximilian of Habsburg as Emperor of Mexico. His rule was brief, tragic, and symbolically rich. A Catholic monarch imposed by a foreign power in a nation fiercely asserting its republican identity. His execution in 1867 would sear itself into the Mexican conscience. And that's true, it has. Beyond Europe, revolutions of industry and ideology began to reshape the modern world. Darwin's Origin of Species, 1859. And always remember in the back of my mind, we talk about Darwin, there is the bulldog Huxley, who really is the instigator of this Darwinism. Challenged traditional views of creation, sowing seeds of doubt about man's divine origin, though its full impact would unfold later. And yes, we're still reeling under that. Marx's Das Kapital in 1867 laid the groundwork for revolutionary atheism, a specter that would haunt the 20th century. 100 million
and well
deaths
beyond. Yeah, I
could
mean,
be attributed to Marxism at the beginning of the turn of this new century.
right.
Easy. 100 million dead because of Marx's bad ideas. In Europe, the seeds of godless materialism and militant secularism germinated, while in Latin America, these ideas remained nascent, overshadowed by local struggles, but destined to influence future conflicts.
Yeah, I mean that particular period is quite historically rich, or perhaps we should say quite historically impoverished. I guess it's almost a little bit more accurate. It's really a pillaging of that they lived on the capital of men who had gone before them, and thus I think really begins the great destruction that we are now hopefully nearing the end of. We can pray for that, right? That we've destroyed so much that it's starting to shake us a bit to the core. There's a little bit of at some point there will have to be a renaissance, and let's hope that those seeds are starting to sprout now.
I hope so, and I think Blessed Conchita is very much a part of this blowing. All right, my friends, let us pick up in the next episode. Till then, Fides Irratio.